I'm going to share with you a way to control your blood pressure. And I have not seen this on any social media. I have not seen this anywhere. There's a reason. So stick to the end because I'm going to give you the actual reason. We're going to discuss it as we go ahead and show you this combined effort to change your blood pressure. Now there's a couple things that you need. Number one, you need a good pair of shoes. Now my favorite pair of shoes, let me show you, are these. These are Lems. They're made out of Colorado in the United States. I personally love them. I'll put a link down below in the description if you need a good pair of shoes, but you're gonna see me doing something and you'll see me wearing these pairs. The second thing is an hour before you get started, get some type of supplement that has L-arginine and L-citrulline combined. This is my favorite. This is Nature's Pure Blend nitric oxide flow. It has L-arginine, L-citrulline. We'll discuss that later of why you want to take something like that. But after an hour, after you take the supplement, get your shoes on and let's go. I started and I didn't hit record. So I had to start over. Oh man. Trials and tribulations of trying to make a YouTube video. Now you will have an opportunity to take an elevator. Don't do that. We're gonna go take the stairs. Sunshine. So number one, get out into the sun. That's the first thing. And you're gonna start walking. And here's what's gonna happen. Right away, you're gonna feel better. Whatever stress you had is now somewhere else in some other room or something. I'm gonna cross the street really fast. I have a little route that I like that when I have about 10, 15 minutes in between patients, I'll go ahead and do. All right, so let's do this. Now, let me cut to the chase. What you're gonna do is you're gonna get out and go for a walk. So you got your good shoes, you've got L-arginine and L-citrulline in your body, and you're gonna start walking. Now, just to let you know, the reason you're gonna take that supplement is because L-arginine is pretty quickly, within an hour, converted into a gas by our body called nitric oxide. And there's an enzyme called endothelial nitric oxide synthase. And that converts L-arginine like that into nitric oxide. And nitric oxide will help widen the arteries and make the arteries more compliant and pliable, so that as you're exercising now, your blood pressure will actually kind of go down a little bit because the arteries can open up. Now you're getting more blood going to your muscles that you're using. Now L-citrulline takes a little longer, so it's going to have a long-term effect. And what'll happen is the L-citrulline in the kidneys will be converted, it's a slower process, into L-arginine, and that L-arginine then will become nitric oxide. So you certainly wouldn't want to exercise without putting that in your body first somehow. And it's almost like taking a long trip. You fill up the tank. That's what you're basically doing. Now, this exercise that I'm doing right now, which is really simple, anyone can do it, other than if you don't have legs or you're fully disabled. Any type of exercise where you're just going, getting your heart rate going. Now, I'm walking fairly fast to prove a point. And that is that if I were to walk really slow, like this, like I'm shopping at the outlet mall, it'll work. But when you pick up the pace, which I'm gonna do right now, you get into a certain zone where your heart rate increases. Always look both ways, by the way, when you cross the street. So your heart rate increases, and when that happens, your body knows that it needs more oxygen, needs more nutrients to the muscles you're using, and thus your body will produce more nitric oxide. That's the name of the game here when it comes to lowering blood pressure. Now, let me explain the next level stuff. And this is something that you will not see anywhere, anybody doing. I should patent this, by the way, but you can't patent stuff like this. As you're walking, you're gonna shut your mouth. Now, what I should mean is close your mouth. And I'm gonna be talking, so I'm not gonna be closing my mouth, but what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna start breathing in and out through your nose. The reason why is because there are sensory organs in your nasal passageways that will further increase the amount of nitric oxide that's being produced. So this is where you hear of people trying to tape their mouth shut at nighttime so that they can breathe through their nose to increase nitric oxide. You don't have to tape your mouth, just close your mouth. So as we're walking here, I'm going to shut my mouth. I'm only going to breathe in and out through the nose. Now, bam, you're going to take it up another notch. You're going to find a cheerful song, any type of song. Find something that you can hum to. Humming causes a vibration of the air inside our nasal passageways. And what ends up happening is there has been shown to be a further increase in nitric oxide production by a factor of about 15 times. Holy cow, that's a lot. So as you're walking, you're gonna close your mouth and you're gonna hum. Now, you could do any type of humming. I find a song pretty nice. Anything. Pick a song, hum it. Now, if you find yourself getting out of breath, that's okay. Don't hum, breathe through your mouth, catch your breath, and keep going. You do this. Now, I promised at the beginning of the video I was going to tell you why this has never been researched. Each individual part of what I just told you has been researched. It's well documented that L-arginine and L-citrulline increase nitric oxide. And the benefits of that are huge in terms of blood pressure, heart health. There's a lot of benefits. But they've also done studies on nasal breathing, deep breathing, humming. All these individual pieces have been studied, but they've never been studied together, and there's a reason why. The reason why is because the scientific method dictates that we can't leave things by chance. So what ends up happening is you have to have, let's say, a group of 100 people, and you divide those people into two separate groups. You only want one factor to be different. Because if one group is exercising, they have a certain diet, they're humming, they're breathing through their nose, they're going for walks, they're doing all these different things, and the other group just does nothing. They watch Netflix, for example. Well, one of the problems is when the one group is a lot healthier than the other group, well, what the heck do you do? How do you know which one, how do you know which factor lowered their blood pressure? You don't. It could have been just the humming. So what you do is you have to divide people into a group, and 50% of the people will have the same diet, same exercise, same breathing patterns, but they will hum. The other group will have the same exact diet, same exact exercise routine, same exact breathing, but they will not hum. That's how they figure this stuff out. Well, one of the things is, and the frustrating things, is that takes a lot of time. So they're trying to figure out what is the one thing, What is the effect of one thing? Now, when it comes to drug companies who control the world and quite frankly control most of the research on healthcare, there's a thing where you can do a placebo. Because the study that I just mentioned, where they would divide groups into two and then figure out what the difference of humming is, because that's the only factor that would change, a drug company would give someone placebo. So what they would do is they would divide groups into two. They would give one group the real drug and the other group like a sugar pill or a pill with nothing in it. And that way, neither group knows what they're ingesting. Now, if you were to have the doctors not know whether they're giving the patients the pills or not, this is what's called a double-blind study, where the patients don't know what the hell they're taking, and the doctors don't know what the hell they're prescribing. Now, when I say it like that, that's kind of a funny medical system, right? But nonetheless, a double-blind study, that's what it means, is the patients don't know whether they're taking a placebo or not, and the doctors won't influence the patients because they don't know what they're giving. That's also called a placebo-controlled trial. Now, a clinical trial is different than an animal study. Traditionally, we use lab mice because lab mice have a physiology that's kind of similar to ours. So before we start experimenting on humans, you want to experiment on lab mice. In the eyes of science, lab mice don't have a soul and are dispensable. So before you start giving stuff to humans, you give it to lab mice. In the eyes of God, everyone has value, but in science, not everybody has value. So we use lab mice. It would be better, honestly, to use chimpanzees, monkeys, because their body's physiology is extremely similar to ours. However, monkeys and chimpanzees, they're kind of cute. They look a lot like us, and it's harder to do experiments on them. So they use lab mice. They're cheaper too, less expensive. So anyway, that's the side note. But when you hear of clinical trials, a double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trial, that's essentially what you're hearing, is that the doctor doesn't know what the hell he's doing, the patients don't know what the hell they're taking, and they're doing it on humans. So there's a clinical trial. A meta-analysis is where they take all those studies and study multiple researchers so that we can rule out the factors that one study may be biased with. Now, the reason this is important because of what we're doing right now is I am combining sunshine, because we're getting some vitamin D today, walking, exercise, nasal breathing. We are also, I'm going to go this way, combining humming. So we're doing 4 things all at once. And it would be difficult if our blood pressure goes down to be able to determine which of these things did it. I mean, could I feasibly just not go for a walk, not breathe, and not hum, and the L-arginine and L-citrulline from Nature's Pure Blend is the only factor that really lowered my blood pressure? That would be great, right? Because then you wouldn't have to exercise. You wouldn't have to go outside. You wouldn't have to buy a nice pair of shoes. You wouldn't have to look like an idiot walking around town humming. So in the scientific method, what I'm showing you, there's too many variables. But I can tell you that there are studies for each of these variables, but there are no studies that have combined them all to say, what is the effect? Now, I can tell you it would make sense that all of these things put together are going to have a better effect than just one and only one. So this is my little secret. And I need to figure out how to patent this so that I can make it, so that I can earn money off this, because I'm just giving you this for free. What am I going to earn from YouTube on the AdSense? $8 for this video, or for the month, or whatever? Who knows? I don't even know sometimes, half the time. I don't even look because it's depressing. But combine all these, do this stuff, and get your blood pressure in order. It's very possible. You can do this. This is not rocket science. There are many videos on blood pressure of just do this one exercise, just do wall sits, just do cardiovascular, just take this one supplement and things. But when you start taking these studies and combining all of them together in one shot, I don't know how much time I've been walking. I'm on my way back right now, so probably been walking about maybe 10 minutes. But it is so easy to combine things, because sometimes on my channel, it seems like I'm giving you 20 different things to do for blood pressure, and you think to yourself, holy cow, how does anybody with a job do all these things? And the answer is, right now, I have a job. I've been a doctor of chiropractic for over 29 years, and almost every single week, there's at least one moment in my schedule when I could say, okay, I got 10 minutes, I got 5 minutes, I got 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get out of the office and just go for a quick walk. Get the blood going, get the circulation going, put you in a good mood, you know? But most importantly, it can help manage blood pressure. And this is something that you cannot do a placebo-controlled trial because they just don't exist. You can't fake it. Hey, how you doing? You cannot give someone a placebo of walking. They know they're walking. You can feasibly give someone fake capsules so they don't know they're getting the L-arginine and L-citrulline. You can not fake comfortable shoes. The patient knows. The doctor will know. And more importantly, you can't fake or placebo control humming or nasal breathing. The patient knows that they're either doing it or not. So try this. Give it a shot. Spend a month doing this every day. Just get some supplements, get a good pair of shoes, get out of the house, walk for 10 minutes, 15, whatever time you have. I'm sure you have time. Everybody has time. It's a matter of priorities. And get going and do this and report back to me and let me know if you think this was of value. Because that's my ultimate goal in creating this channel, is to bring great value to you, the subscriber, who wants to lower blood pressure, is probably on multiple medications, and their doctor never spent 10 minutes with them explaining to you exactly what are some action steps that are doable, that are natural, and will stimulate your body to get healthy so that maybe you can get your blood pressure under control.